Okay, so as we were talking about before, this is Jason from Kentucky Sustainable Living, and what's going on, Jason? What's going on?
Man, there's so much going on. It's like we look at everything that's going on, and people are like, "Holy cow!" There's Iran going on. Is Ukraine still a thing? Are they still fighting over there and playing with each other? I mean, you hadn't heard about it, so
I know,
but
right?
yeah, there's that going on, and then they brought up hantavirus for a while, and then they kicked up Ebola for a little bit. They got stirred up, and then it's like you don't know which way to go. So there's like always something going on, but as long as you stay focused and prepared on stuff, it's like some of this stuff really doesn't matter, honestly, in my opinion.
Exactly, yeah, because that's what preparedness is all about, and making sure that dumb things don't matter.
Yeah, I mean the little things, and one of the big things I see is everybody prepares for these major disasters. Like everybody's focused on that EMP or World War III or Red Dawn situation, and then their truck won't start, and they're like, "Crap, I don't even have jumper cables." So it's like,
So that's about right. That's about
yeah,
right.
it's like I lived through the EMP, but I don't have jumper cables.
Yeah, now you're gonna die on the side of the road.
Yeah, and well, like yesterday, my oldest son was down at my parents' house, and he had rented a dump trailer to bring mulch. He started to dump the mulch, and it got halfway up, and the battery died.
Oh
And he
no.
goes, "Dad, what can I do?" I was like, "What do you think we should do?" And I pulled my truck over there, hooked the jumper cables to the battery on the dump trailer, and he goes, "Is this going to drain your battery?" And I'm like, "If you leave the car or leave the truck running, it'll be fine." So he learned a life lesson there. I was like, "You've got jumper cables in your truck, don't you?" And he's like, "I'm going to by this afternoon." I was like,
Yeah,
"Okay, go get some."
that's a great life lesson. That's a great life lesson. What
Yeah,
else is going on?
nothing we've been doing. I mean, it's summertime. Everything, growing vegetables, growing food. Strawberries have been amazing this year. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's we're over 20 gallons of strawberries is what we picked so far this year.
Wow. Wow.
Just just stupid amounts. And now the rain, we had a bunch of rain like a week or so ago, and the rain absolutely wreaked havoc on it. The rain will actually bust the berries and stuff. So
Oh no. Okay.
yeah. So we're coming out. There's still a decent amount of berries. We're just waiting for them to come back. But I mean, some of those things are just massive berries. And I'm like, and it's like a 1,600 square foot area is what we've got these berries in. It's not like we've got 2 acres of berries. And
Yeah.
you look down there. So stuff's growing. We got food growing, all that. We got our sheep. I mean, we're doing good on the sheep. We got a ton of sheep out there. So that, and we've been doing all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, we've been doing some training stuff and workshops and everything, along with all our medical kits and that kind of stuff. But it's busy. I mean, that's all you can say is summertime is super busy, like sun up to sundown.
Yeah, I mean it's that time of year, regardless of if you're a homesteader or you're a prepper. One of the things that I noticed being in the preposphere, as I call it, people get super busy during the summer and they actually kind of forget all about all their online stuff that they do during the winter because they're all cooped up. I can go,
Yeah.
I can do a live stream and have like a couple hundred people in there in the middle of winter, but during the summertime, I'm lucky if I get 20. It's
I,
crazy. It's
I,
absolutely
I have
crazy.
I have seen the exact same thing. And I was asking one of my buddies, I'm like, because I do it at 8 o'clock Central Time. And I'm like, "Do you think I need to kick it back to 7 o'clock?" And he was like, "You might want to kick it back to 7 o'clock in the summertime." So we might kick it back to 7 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah, and I've
It's something
noticed
to
a
think
big
about.
difference.
It's something to think
So
about. Now, I hear tell that you've done some training lately.
yes, we did an emergency communications radio class. It's a workshop. It was a full. We planned it at like 8 hours, but it stretched. It almost stretched a 12-hour block. I left it. I got there at 7 o'clock that morning and left at 7 at night. I
Hmm.
was the last person there, and there was a couple other people that hung around. But Brian and Susan from SMB Homestead Radio out of Mississippi, they came up, they taught the class. It was fun. We did, everybody wanted to know, like, they wanted to know your local comms, your UHF, VHF, the line of sight stuff. So we went over that. Everybody built jungle antennas. And
Oh,
then we
those are
took,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, it was fun. You know, we had our bamboo poles and our speaker wire, and we were building it. And then we went and threw them up in a tree and checked the SWR, you know, the standing wave ratio, how good we actually built it. Did that, and then came back in, did some other stuff. And then a lot of the guys wanted to know about regional communications. You know, it's like, I've got a guy, you know, 100 to 200 miles from me. I want to be able to talk to them. So we went into the high frequency, and
Hmm.
the guys thought it was amazing. We built just some in-fed antennas, just in-fed wire antennas. We did all the calculations, built, you know, cut the wire, did all that. And then we took the wire, we took the antennas out, and I hung one 5 feet in the air. We took it from a chain link fence to a post, and I hooked it up on the HF radio. I started tuning in and finding some people. We were in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I talked to two guys in Mississippi with that antenna,
Yep.
talked to a guy in Arkansas, and then talked to a guy in Lexington, Kentucky. And Lexington's like 2.5 hours away.
Yep.
And the
Well,
guys were like, yeah,
yeah.
the guys were like, this is cool.
Well, it's very amazing, you know, once you understand how it works, which is really not that difficult.
Yeah.
And once you understand how to build it, um, for those of you watching right now, you want to go and get yourself a dipole adapter for whatever radio you're using if you want to make one of these things. But the very first radio we in the military we call them HF shots
Mm-hmm.
because you're literally just bouncing it off the atmosphere. But we were doing HF shots from Okinawa, Japan, over to mainland Japan.
Yeah.
It's a huge distance, and those military radios have a little bit more power, but we were just using the ground-based stuff. But you know, I mean, we were building when I started doing radio stuff. We were building these things with in the military. They just call it comm wire. It's
Mm-hmm.
just really really super strong speaker wire is what it is. That you had to buy your own resistors out of Radio Shack. It still existed,
Yeah.
and your insulators were MRE spoons that you drilled holes into the ends of.
Yeah.
But the stuff works. The stuff absolutely works, and I think that anybody that's trying to get any extra oomph out of whatever radio they're using definitely needs to learn how to use them. Definitely needs to learn how to use them.
Oh yeah, and it like amazed the guys. It's like literally 30 minutes ago we put this antenna together and strung it up, and now we're talking to somebody, you know, by car 4 hours or 5 hours away. They're just like, this is amazing that you can do this, and I'm like, this is the importance of communications. You know, everybody grabs a bow fang and they're like, cool, I got my bow fang, and they're like, it's not programmed. They don't know how to use it, and it's, you know, they see in the movies the guys got their little handheld and they're in California and they're talking to somebody in New York or something. It's like that doesn't work that way.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, I mean, it's all about the training, and I think it's time to let people in on the fact that you also do something else. You and Miss Sharon do something else. Is it once or
Yes,
twice a year now? I can't remember.
it's once a year.
Once
We
a year. Let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
we do the Kentucky Sustainable Living. It's the Homesteading and Preparedness Festival. We do it. We started it. We're like, honestly, the way it got started, we were sitting at another festival down in Tennessee, and we are all sitting there, and somebody said something. They're like, "Y'all need to do a festival," and we just kicked back and laughed. We're like, "Yeah, there's no way we're going to do this," and so we just started laughing. Somebody else came up, and they're like, "If you do a festival," it was Tag from Life Done Free. Tag came
Mm,
over, and he's like, "If you do a festival," he's like, "I'll come talk." And I was like, "Oh crap, we got to do it now." So
yep.
we had no idea what we were doing. So we're like, yeah, we'll do a festival. We just went ahead and figured a date, and we're like, we got like 6 or 7 months to figure this out. And it's happened just organically. We figured it out. We still don't know 100% what we're doing. I'll be honest with you. So
Yeah.
we're still winging it a lot.
Well, it's constantly evolving, you know. It's just like back when you know, I don't want to badmouth Prepper Camp because that is the Super Bowl of preparedness, which is I 100% disagree. Um, but you know, myself and Jester were just sitting there going, you know, we could do this and we could do this better. This could be more focused. This could be more training focused. This could be more personal to people. instead of just lectures and saying, if you want to know more, come back to my booth.
Yeah.
And I think, truth be known, guys, I was actually asked to speak. I did go and speak at
Yeah.
Jason's KSL 2 years ago. It was a great thing. We had a freaking what was it? It's like a horse stadium, basically. You
Yeah.
know, I don't even know the words for it, but it was completely indoors. Rain was not in effect, and I mean, they had everything. They had instruction. They had vendors. I mean, we even did a raffle. How much money did we make for Caleb House that night?
I think that night was like $10,000 or $12,000.
Yeah, that's some pretty good numbers for, what was that, your second year you did it?
Yeah, it was the second year we did it.
Yeah, yeah. But when we were talking, like, I don't know, it's about 6 months ago. You were we were talking, and
Yeah.
you were telling me how you wanted to make it more instructional focused this year. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, we had a lot of people in the very beginning. We just got people to come in and they would just kind of do a lecture like you were talking about. It's like, hey, here's the lecture. And a lot of the stuff was just canned YouTube stuff. And people are like, why am I going to pay money and drive down to hear somebody talk in person when I can just watch their YouTube channel? And
Yep.
I'm like, okay, cool. We'll solve this. So we made a heavy shift into like actual hands-on workshops. Like, one of the biggest workshops we did that people liked, we did a sausage, how to make sausage and how to start curing bacon.
I like
So,
bacon.
yeah, I mean, we did that. We had pork butts and we're like, hey, we got 2 volunteers to come up. And it's like, we need to start deboning these butts and cutting it into chunks. We're going to run it through the grinder. I'm going to show you how to make the spice blend for this sausage. And then we're going to mix it all up and then put it in vacuum seal bags. And that's ready. And then we showed them how to start doing the cure on the pork bellies to make bacon.
Mhm.
People love that. And so we've really shifted to more hands-on stuff. You're going to have a chance if you want to process a chicken, you're going to have a chance to where you're actually going to get your hands dirty and dispatch that chicken and cut it up and have it ready for the freezer.
That's awesome. What with the focus more away from lecturing to more hands-on training, what other stuff do you have lined up at KSL this year?
We've got the chicken processing going there. We've got a lady that comes in and makes sourdough. She's going to show you start to finish, like how to do sourdough. Another one of the ladies is doing like everybody has wheat berries. Everybody stores wheat berries in
Yep.
massive amounts. And it's like, what do you do with it? What do you do with this? She's going to show you the process of taking these wheat berries, grinding them into flour, and then actually making bread.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. What else? You gonna have that calm couple come in and teach?
Yes, Brian and Susan will be there doing some communication stuff. Dakota from Better Built Dogs is going to have some of his protection and service dogs there, and we're going to be talking about it. He says he's going to get me in a bite suit, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So we'll have to see.
You may have to do it.
Well, he talked about it. He's like, we're going to get you in a bite suit. And I was like, dude, I don't know if we're going to do that or not. And he's like, oh, we're getting you in one. I'm like, okay, we'll see. I might just be doing something else when that time comes. So when I see it,
you have to do it, because if not, Miss Sharon will show up and show your ass up.
oh
That's
yeah,
what she'll do. She'll be like, "You wuss, come here."
yeah. Either that or I'll be like, I'll look at the schedule and be like, he's on at like noon to 2. It's like I got to go do something at noon, so I'm just hide out. But yeah,
Yeah.
well, there, Sean Patrick Tarot, he does Mark 37, the ghost tablets and the ghost phones and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, the de-Googled stuff. He's going to be there talking and showing you how to use these different platforms to where Google can't track you and all that kind of stuff. Mike Adkins will be there. Mike did a land navigation workshop last year he did it in a 2-part section. He did like an hour in the classroom showing you how to read the maps, how to use your compass and all that. And then they went outside for an hour and he had points set up that you needed to navigate to.
Yeah.
So he did that. We're going to have a bunch of different stuff. We've got a guy coming in that's going to teach about trapping. and he's
Oh, I
actually going
like
to show
that.
you. Yeah, he's actually going to show you how to set up some of these traps in real life. Like he's going to the dirt floor in the arena. He's going to dig up some of the dirt floor and show you how to set the traps and do all that. I'm like, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, that's very cool stuff. That's very cool stuff. I watched them try to do that stuff on that TV show Alone, and
Yeah,
even though they're pros, I see them making all sorts of mistakes. It's ridiculous.
yeah.
And I'm far from a great trapper, but I know I don't rub my scent all over the trap.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And
So,
that's what this guy does for a living. That is his full time business is trapping. And he's got a bunch of guys. There's a bunch of farmers that pay him to trap coyotes and stuff. And
yeah,
then there's also a bunch of guys that have farms leased for hunting, and they pay him to go out and trap coyotes on the farms.
I got you. Yeah. I mean, it's a living if you're good at it. That's
Yeah.
definitely a living if you're good at it. So, what else you got going on at that festival?
We've got Crystal, the Doomsday Queen. She's going to be there.
I got
So
you.
So she's going to be there. I've not met her in person. She's coming in from Utah, and so I'm anxious to meet her in person. She's going to be doing a pressure canning
Yeah,
demonstration. So she's
yeah.
going to take it and be doing. She loves canning stuff, and she was like, "I want to do some canning," and I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." William Bond will be there, the permaculture consultant. William's going to be talking about. I think William's going to talk about how we can eradicate the stuff that they're not spraying from the sky,
Uh-huh.
that kind of thing, of how you can eradicate and deal with some of that stuff on your homestead. And then also Pat Milichek is he's one of the inventors of soil saviors. He's going to be there. Pat used to be
Yeah, okay.
he used to be a UFC fighter and trained
Yeah.
UFC guy, and somehow so you go from UFC stuff to making soil savior to make your soil and your dirt at your house a lot better. I don't know how that happened, but
I don't know, man. Sometimes the dots just connect. There's nothing you can do about it.
yeah,
It just
I,
happens.
I don't think that's a straight line dot connection. I think there's a lot of wiggles and turns and stuff like that. How you went from there, but he's
Yeah.
going to come out and be talking about how to improve your soil health with their product and stuff like that. We've got a couple guys coming that are going to talk about how to set up your homestead in a permaculture way. So
Uh-huh.
set that up so you don't, where you've got your house and you don't have your chickens way out in the back 40 where they're getting picked off every night by coyotes. It's like
Yeah.
we need to set it up and set it up efficiently.
Yeah.
Uh, we've got another guy, Scott Wiley. He's coming in and he's going to talk about homestead security. Everybody, and that's a big thing. Everybody sets up their homestead and they're just like, oh man, I've got my house, I've got my chickens, I've got my sheep and my pigs out there, and I've got an acre and a half garden and all this. If you can't protect it, you're just a loot drop for somebody.
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
And they just don't see it. And it's like there's basic things you can do to set your homestead up to where you're just not going to be the loot llama from Fortnite.
The loot llama.
Yeah. So
Uh, okay. Well, I mean, that all sounds pretty terrific. I mean, I've got my eye on a couple of different festivals that are happening between now and November. But I may make my way out there. I talked to the girlfriend and she's like, "That's a long way to go." I was like, "Well, and a short time to get there. If you know, you know."
yeah.
Yeah, we may make our way out there. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be even better than the last time I was there. And I'm really happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's getting better every year, and I'm excited. I mean, I dread to work in it. It is a ton. It's a massive amount of work, and it's funny. Like I was talking to somebody, I was like, if I tried to make a living off doing just the festival, I would be better off going and working at McDonald's for the number of hours you put in it and stuff.
It's true. The number of hours do not add up. They just
No,
don't add up. So,
but
okay,
but but it's the
go
thing
ahead.
you get to meet people, and all these cool people that you meet is totally worth it. That's worth more than any money that you can make.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's the affirmation of community within the preparedness world. It
Yeah,
really is. It's not just about some guy coming to teach you about radios or permaculture. It's you actually make friends with these people, and I mean, friends are friends. It's always good to have friends that know stuff too.
yeah,
That you can pick up one of these monoliths that we carry around with us, and call them if you got an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to have a friend, and that I think that's probably the key part of community.
Yeah, exactly. And then one of the things I'm excited about too is Thursday before the festival, we're doing one of our trauma management courses,
Okay.
teaching teaching you how to stay alive until EMS or a higher level of care gets there. We've got our instructors. I was going to help teach the class. I usually help teach the class, but Thursday I'm going to be busy running a bunch of the stuff with the festival, so I'm not going to be able to teach it. But y'all will still be in good hands. We've got Greg New is going to teach it along with Mike Atkins. These guys are both retired Green Berets, and they know all about trauma medicine. And I'm like, guys, y'all got to help me teach this because I just can't do it. So that is above and beyond the festival ticket, but still that 8 hour class is still it's $200 for an 8 hour class.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, so okay, I think we covered everything. Anything else you want to tell people?
No, it's July 16th or July 17th, 18th, and 19th, and tickets are only $45 for all 3 days.
That's as inexpensive as it gets, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. That's the cheapest one I've heard so far.
Yeah. I mean, you're
And
looking at $15 a day.
yeah,
Kids
and
get it free.
kids get in free.
Yeah.
And I'll also, guys, I will leave the link in the description so you can go over there and check out his website and order yourself some tickets because, yeah, this sounds like a pretty awesome thing to go to.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, that's going to be about it for today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. And as usual, you guys know the deal. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you.
All right. See y'all.
Yeah, bye bye.
That's the link.